He's very quick. He's ready to go. He is BlysK.
And down in the bottom left, his Singapore compadre, also Protoss. It is Lobo.
Can confirm he is also Protoss. Well spotted.
All right, and I had the stream on the other screen there for a second, and as we started kind of getting into our little intro there of that game, the break started. So, man, that was less than 2-minute break. That's insane.
Wow. Nice.
Nice.
That's how I like it, man. I like to keep it rolling. Otherwise, you lose the hype because you're like, oh, now we have a half-hour downtime. Isn't that exciting?
All right, Lobo going to get the first scout off here to see what is going on in the base and mind of BlysK. And he's going to be able to get into the double gas. And I wonder if you'll pick up here that BlysK is mining 5 on gas at the moment. I'm not sure if that's completely on purpose here by BlysK, but it's up to him.
Yeah, I mean, he'll probably add another probe on there later.
Oh, actually, he's I think he's completely walled here. He is.
Lobo's like, are you serious, bro?
He's trying to deny the pylon count because there is a pylon out on the map here for BlysK already, and I mean, he's kept him in the base. It's like, well, where are you going to put your other pylon? Like, there's one on the wall here, and I can get around your base.
Yeah. I guess to him it looks like he's just trying to take a really quick nexus before the second pylon. Because he has the money about now, but still.
It's 2-gate adept here for, I think, for Lobo, but he needs stalkers. Oh no, it's Robo. It's Robo from BlysK. Proxy Robo. Oh, okay.
Alright. Let's see how this goes. I mean, Lobo's going to have more out more quickly. But seeing how that matches up against what BlysK is going to do, like, it's the same build, essentially, as what he just did to Jabito. Now, I don't actually consider that might be a thing that happens in PvP, but I guess it is. And it's going to be really hard to stop. Like, he's heading across the map with his first couple of units, and in fact, he's getting a pylon over there. So it looks like he's just going straight up over to the other side of the map, but
Lobo's going for an attack of his own.
Yeah, like,
he's going for a 2-gateway attack here.
He's seen that there's nothing in BlysK's main though, so surely he knows that he's got something somewhere else.
He's proxying in a Robo of his own, but the Robo is already done here for BlysK, and BlysK is adding immortals into his comp already. I think, unfortunately for Lobo here, he's had a complete misread of this attack, but this timing could be pretty nice for him.
What is this game, man? I don't understand.
I don't know, but he's going to stop Warp Gate.
Yeah.
Or not just yet. Not just yet. He needs more units. But
he's already dropped a second pylon there, though, to make sure that doesn't happen. It's not too far off. He can chrono it if he absolutely needs to. But luckily, that photon overcharge on the pylon is going to buy him the time that he needs. And it's about to be showtime on BlysK's, Lobo's side of the map. First Immortals coming out, second one not too far off, and he's going to march in there with so many units. He's just going to be able to go to town.
Oh, so actually, this is a little bit scary here for BlysK once again. I mean, he got his warp gate done, but this opens up his base. There is a recall available here for Lobo, but here comes his attack. 2 Adepts and an Immortal coming across here. But yeah, of course, his Mothership Core is across the map. He's got recall and overcharge available to him, but oh man, I don't know at this point. This is just going to be weird. It could be a bit of a base trade.
And targeting down the pylons first is BlysK on Lobo's side of the map, while Lobo is actually working on the buildings. I feel like he should be going for like probes and trying to get rid of the Adept or something, because getting rid of the gateway, I'm not sure if that's too much of a problem for BlysK right now, and he does eventually turn around, try and pick off some units, but again, there's another overcharge. That was the last overcharge though, so after that, he has nothing left. It's just going to be up to these Adepts and Mothership Core to kill off these Stalkers.
Yes, man, this is something I was not expecting to see, but this is awesome in its own. A Time Walk coming down here to try and help out. Now the Immortal is there to help deal out its own damage. BlysK warping in some Adepts to help out at home, but this defense is actually looking pretty good here for BlysK. Pylon overcharge is available. He's trying to kill what he can on his way out. He's actually trying to focus down the Summoner's Call, but oh man, he wasn't quite able to get it, and he can re-engage quite shortly here. But Lobo, all of his main buildings are basically gone. There are 2 immortals working away at things over there, but it looks like BlysK is kind of starting to hold back at home. He's got plenty of adepts. He's being revealed here, so he knows where those proxy units are, and Lobo has to do his best to keep these last few buildings alive. I mean, also, BlysK has a decent amount of units across the map here to defend his remaining. So, I don't know, man. It's a strange game.
He's going to be able to kill Lobo's buildings. Like, already he's leaving. He's leaving that base to go clean up the rest of the buildings Lobo has on the other side of the map. And he actually just GG's.
Yeah, he can't contend those 3 immortals, man. That's a tough ask, because those probes were able to mine for a little bit longer there, of course, with BlysK and just being able to squeeze out those few extra units. That was... That
hurt my brain, man. I wasn't ready for that. Oh, PvP. I am so glad I don't have to play it.
That was something else.
Yeah. It was interesting, that's for sure. So we'll be hopping into the second map real quick. I'm not even gonna bother being like, well, they might do this in map number 2, because quite frankly, I don't have any idea after that first game. Maybe BlysK will just do the same build on her again, who knows?
Don't know, man, but look at the map we're going to be going into here. Dash and Terminal.
Dash and Terminal.
This is just another recipe for disaster here for both players.
I'm looking forward to this. This is another map that's actually pretty good for proxies.
Indeed.
Well, I guess we'll soon find out what's going to happen.
Alright. So, man, like... I want to talk about this PvP strategy, but just looking at the different builds that have been going on, there's so much different things to be explored in PvP right now from what like, this is something completely different. Like, I don't know, man. I'm looking forward to see what comes out next game. just to see what these guys have thought up to try and break another Protoss.
Yeah. I feel like BlysK is kind of in troll mode at this point. Like, I wonder what I can get away with. Because it was pretty much the same build that he did against Jabito. Like, he just swapped it out so that instead of 8 adepts, it's now immortals. And it's still really, really hard to stop. And I think, funnily enough, what Lobo did actually gave him a pretty good chance of winning, because it ended up in that sort of strange base trade. But yeah, I don't know. Let's find out what happens in game number 2. Can Lobo get some revenge against this cheeky person in the right-hand side of the map? He's the green Protoss known as BlysK.
And spawning in the northern location, we have our blue Protoss from Singapore. It is Lobo.
Correct. I really just kind of don't want to talk and just sit here and watch what happens. Anytime anyone picks Dash and Terminal, I'm like, yeah, this is not going to be a legit game, surely. I think I've casted like 1 macro game on Dash and Terminal ever.
Yeah, I've seen some weird like pressure macro styles, like not in PvP, but yeah, I don't know, man. This map has been pretty fun, and I hope it stays for a little bit longer in the map pool.
I mean, surely it's going to be like something sort of 1 basey. Your rush distance isn't that long. And you've got those 2 entrances into the natural, so it's not exactly the easiest thing to defend slash maneuver around if you are in that sort of like, oh, maybe it's 3 stalkers versus 2 stalkers kind of position. Like, it's not really going to play too much into how easy it is for you to defend in those situations. But, I mean, so far all the buildings are in their bases, so that's a good sign.
Yep, and both players going for their double gateway cybernetic score here to start us off. And usually that looks towards like your kind of 2-gated opener and a little bit of pressure, but like we saw the way Lobo opened last game, it was like Adept Stalker, push across the map, put a pylon down, proxy rowboat, and add gates to that pylon as well. But I don't know, it'd be interesting to see if he is going to whip something similar out this game and try and get BlysK. He's like, I did it last game, but your build's different this time, so I might be able to get away with it.
Well, BlysK is going to get a full scout off of his opponent's base. Lobo, on the other hand, has opted for the hidden probe down towards the 3rd base location of BlysK, so he may be yet to drop something there. BlysK opening with the 2 adepts, though that's some nice harass early on. A little bit harder to do against the Stalker, but it could be that Lobo sends those first couple of units out again. Stargate is going to be his tech of choice, though.
Yep, and he's kept that probe there, so he's going to be able to scout. But let's see if he's paying attention. Actually, ooh, ducks back out. And now, this is where the probe can strike to have a look, another look. But yeah, the double depth, it should be pretty well held here by the Zealot and Stalker. You should be able to push him away, but of course he does have to be careful of the phase.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, he doesn't have to engage this head on. He can take a few pot shots and then just like run away. He can go past these units and force Lobo back. And it looks like that is what he's going to be going for. They can't get too far past him though, so yeah, he actually just makes him go back home and then runs away. And in the meantime, BlysK, continuing with his cheeky tactics, is dropping a DT shrine.
Yeah, and proxied out on the map is that one too. And we do see a Robo here for Lobo, so he can get detection out. He's got Phoenix coming as well, so he can lift that DT. And yeah, just if he's on top of it, he should be alright here against it. And he's going to keep the Adepts in the base here for now. BlysK are going to try and help this out. Loses that Zealot though, and man, those Adepts make short work as Zealots as well.
Yeah, he just slides back on out of there. No harm done. Lobo's kind of stuck. I mean, he's got a Robo, which is good because he can grab himself an Observer. Going for the blink. If he starts making Immortals, that's a little scary because it's just like less time before he has an Observer out on the map. But luckily he has gone for the Observer first. Still doesn't guarantee that it's going to be at home, but better than having no Observer at all when the DTs hit. Yeah,
he's seen the Twilight Council and he's just going to keep, it looks like he's going to keep the Observer at home for now, which is a good choice. Because obviously he hasn't been able to confirm. He's like, oh, you don't really have too much of a Stalker count just yet. You had a couple in your main, but surely you have a little bit more here if you're going Blink. And I think that's kind of been picked up there by Lobo for the time being, but he's kind of catching BlysK a little off guard there, almost catching himself a Mothership Core, which would have been really nice for him.
Yeah, that's pretty weak now too, so that's going to make it really easy to snipe in fights, or maybe for round 2 when the Phoenixes dip in there again. So BlysK kind of has to babysit that unit now.
He actually cancels his Dark Shrine.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. I guess he realized it's not actually going to do any damage, so better to invest into Blink and an expansion as he has done. And he can head into a bit of a chunkier gateway force. Probably wants to look into a few models of his own eventually. It's fine to focus on the Blink for now. But yeah, like he's going to be sitting back a little while before he actually heads out on the map. Ooh. As he's securing that natural base. And Lobo is being such a pest with these Phoenixes.
And the problem is though, he got himself a little bit supply block there. Losing that pylon across the map cost him a little bit of supply, and he's trying to get his Immortal count out now because he knows the Blink Stalker is something that is on the way, and he needs those Immortals as ASAP. As he's got one out, he's going to have... Actually, he's already got 2 out. Oh, my bad on that one. A 3rd one about to pop out, and that's going to be real handy in his defense. He's got a pylon on that low ground there to help him out as well. He needs a Mothership Core over there soon to help with that defense.
Yeah, it is a solid looking force, but there's actually not a lot of stuff here just yet, so like one offensive Blink can get rid of at least one of those models. It's still very scary for BlysK to move in here though, so I'm actually kind of surprised that he's pushing at the moment. But you know, if he doesn't overcommit, he's gonna be fine.
Yeah, gonna come in here, starts focusing down one of those models. It's Hardened Shield has, of course, been procced already. That Mothership Core does need to back out just a little bit here, fall back onto his pylon overcharge. More units being warped in here for BlysK, trying to do what he can, but Lobo's looking pretty solid in his defense right now. 3 Immortals is an awesome thing to have. Phoenix are across the map, they are just chilling for now, so just too focused on this fight for the current time.
Man, I think he's actually forgotten about them. Otherwise, he could be grabbing a couple of Stalkers when they run in. Or at least one, I guess, because he doesn't have that much firepower to help out those Phoenixes. Instead, though, he's going to pick up some worker kills at the same time, which is going to be really nice for him. And BlysK still trying to blink forward at the front here, get a couple of kills, but the defensive power of Lobo is just looking too good at this point.
Yeah, and on that weak Immortal, it's Hardened Shield. Cooldown is back there, so it can tank for a little bit longer, of course, and he is fighting quite well against these Stalkers. 3 Immortals is so much damage.
Yeah, all he needs is to make sure that at all times, you know, he's got a couple of units to be up the front absorbing those hits. At the moment, 3 or 4 Zealots. If he loses that sort of cannon fodder for the Stalkers, then he's going to be in a little bit of trouble. But so far, it's not going too badly. He's overextending a little bit out there, though. And it looks like BlysK may have finally found a window in here. There's the Hardened Shield, though.
Yeah.
Does pick up one Immortal. Can he get a second one? Oh, it looks promising almost. He does have to back up.
Yeah, keeps him alive for now, getting himself another immortal. Now that Stargate going to more use now, getting out of Void Ray is going to be helpful for him here as well. All that extra damage with that prismatic alignment, of course. Those Phoenix will come to use again here, but no reprieve on the front line just yet as Stalker's trying to find himself another fight. Going to pick off another immortal, which is going to be nice, but I think this is where BlysK might actually find some damage, but no. Some more pylon overcharges come out to be able to keep him out once again. Another immortal.
Defense has been really very good so far. Even with this small amount of units using the pylon overcharge at the front, they're double overcharges in fact, really keeps BlysK out of his base. And those Phoenixes are still alive too, so he can keep doing a little bit of damage here and there in the background or bring those over for a bit more of the defense. It looks like he's forgotten about them for the moment again because he really does have to pay a lot of attention to the front here, and BlysK has decided to try his luck around the back maybe.
Yeah, loses Phoenix there. He does know there's a pylon there, so Lobo going to be able to defend this quite alright. He's about to have 3 immortals once again here, Lobo, to be able to keep holding this off.
And with the Void Ray, as you mentioned, that's a little bit of extra utility there. Bit more damage output. And the Stalker count is finally able to climb a little bit here, which makes it a bit beefier of an army. Disruptor is coming in for BlysK though, and that could actually do some damage. I mean, the army of Lobo is quite clumped up in that small space there. So one good hit on those could certainly give him a bit of an advantage. Yeah,
but he's found a timing now where he's able to push BlysK all the way back home, and BlysK actually, a little bit of a misclick there with a couple of his units.
Yeah, he's going to chase him all the way home. Phoenixes may join the fray again. He has killed a couple of them, I think, so I guess their days are over at this point. But can BlysK hold on against this counterattack from Lobo? It's quite a juicy looking army as he takes a third base at the same time. I don't know, with his extra warpins, this army for Lobo looks pretty big.
Oh, a decent split there, but a couple of reinforcing units just walk straight into it. There's he's doing alright here with the splitting, and 3 immortals and that Void Ray are doing serious damage here to BlysK. And Lobo's found himself an alright spot here. If you can move into that natural base, so you can't quite. Those pylon overcharges are going down in all fields. There's 4 of them are activated right now.
BlysK doing a decent job with the defense as well. A lot of these Stalkers are very hurt, so that makes it a little bit trickier. Another pylon overcharge goes off again, getting tongue-tied. And the Disruptor, unfortunately, misses its first shot. Can it get a second one?
He marks it. Yeah, he marks it properly this time, and that is a good fight. There was a War Prison though here, so he does get some decent reinforcement times here, Lobo, to keep this attack up. 2 immortals still a huge thing for him here to keep this fight alive, and he kicks up another Disruptor, which is another huge pickup. But I think this is just going to be too much here from BlysK, and he will be able to push this back here at this point. But those immortals still doing damage. The Void Ray does fall, but there's no blink on the Stalkers here for Lobo. And the more reinforcements coming down. There we go. There is another. Oh, that was a big hit. 4 go down, and Lobo GG's.